the spring of 1874, Packard and Company proceeded to build a better wagon road from the coal mines to Springville. The road was soon completed and greatly increased the ability to deliver the coal from the mines to the train connection west of town. Demand for the coal soon exceeded the capacity of the wagons to deliver their valuable cargo, and Milan Packard began thinking about the possibility of building a narrow-gauge railroad through the canyon. In the autumn of 1876, Packard obtained contracts for over 1 million rail ties to use building what would become known as the Calico Road. The Utah and Pleasant Valley Railroad would commence at the Utah Central Railroad Yard a mile west of Springville, continue east to a depot at the end of Center Street, and then on to Springville's Main Street and proceed south in the direction of the Big Hollow and up Spanish Fork Canyon and beyond to Pleasant Valley. Many of the Springville men who were hired to work on this project would later go on to form their own construction companies. Last names like Mendenhall, Bird, Thorne, Sumption, and Haymond would become synonymous with the companies that in subsequent years would define Springville as the capital of Western road construction. By the early summer of 1878, the track had reached Springville's Main Street. Glenn Allman, in his book, The Legacy of the Springville Contractors, describes the momentous event this way. The track was laid to Springville's Main Street, and the first train of flat cars came up to the corner of the city square. The people of Springville turned out en masse, and the good-natured crowd literally took possession of the train. Conductor George Goss gave orders to the effect that all should be carried from the terminus to the depot and return. The band was seated in front, and the happy throng rode up and down many times, all during the afternoon. This may have been the first chance many of the townspeople had ever had the opportunity to ride on a train, even if it was aboard a flat car with no seating. The 22 miles of narrow-gauge railroad from Springville to the Red Narrows was quickly complete and got the name Calico Road because before the road was finished, the company ran out of capital. Instead, Packard would pay the workers with goods from his store, which mostly consisted of calico cloth. According to historian Glenn Allman, it was a common remark among the men that they might not be getting much money, but they could get their wives calico with which to make dresses. And so the Calico Road became the nickname for the railroad.